Hello, this is Tony the Lightworker. Welcome to the Starseed podcast, where we shine the light on energy healing, intuitive reading, and expanding your being. So let the universe guide your journey, and let's get started.
A lot of things that we think is just mere somebody just saying it just to say it.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm gonna give you the backup of the backup of the backup of the backup.
Yeah.
Right? Because the fear, like I said, is producing toxins. Anytime you're producing toxins, you're producing a whole bunch of white blood cells. And the white blood cells is a lot. And too many, and I told somebody this a long time ago, like 10 years ago, I said too many white blood cells, you know what I mean? That's killing.
Yeah.
That's killing people.
Yeah.
She's like, oh no, you know, but now 10 years later, it's like boom. You know what I'm saying? Inflammation, COVID-19. Listen to this. COVID-19 didn't kill nobody, right? It's the inflammation that's killing you.
The
right?
response
it's your body's
response to
right.
Yeah.
So if you don't have the herbs in you, if you ain't outside getting the light, you ain't getting the water, because listen, if you ain't never seen Fifth Element, well, understand this then. All of the religions, right? All the spiritual system is backed up by one system. I'm about to solve it all for you right
Everything. now. Something happened right now. You better be listening.
Like,
keep watching. Don't you click
share,
off.
Like, donate, share.
Like, donate, share. Like,
listen.
like,
it's all alchemy. All chemical, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
All is mind, and everything in the universe is mental, right? So if I can control your mental, I can control your universe through what? A cubic space. And I can make my universe your universe.
Woo, child.
So now you are controlled in my box. This is what religions do, because they know. Like, let me tell you something about Hebrew, right? If I go like this, right? That's the Toph. They call that you start with the Aleph, the A, and the Toph. Right? The top is the T.
Yeah.
But what is the T? The T is the sacred handshake of a covenant. Because through your index finger and your thumb, right, you can't even really stretch that out without making a C for real. Ooh, that's the covenant.
Yeah.
Right? This is where it all starts. This is where next thing you know, they're talking about circumcision and all that. Right? You cutting blood. Now, there go blood.
All related.
Right?
It's all related.
Right? So
it's insane.
When you got the Toph or you got the covenant, this is why they do contracts, because you got to understand they stole all the religions, right, of darkness from the Chem, the land of Chem, right? It was Africa is the land of Chem, right? And the land of Kush. Really, Africa is, Egypt, y'all see all the monuments, y'all see the pyramids, but it's some more pyramids and stuff in the Kush, but they don't want to tell y'all, right? So when I'm even talking about this, the Arabics really birthed through Kush, but they don't want to say that, right? But that's why you get into Semitic or anti-Semitic. Like, how can you be anti-Semitic?
Here we go.
Right? You just saying you semi.
Yeah.
Right? Semi what? They don't say what.
What?
Yeah.
Right.
You semi-African.
Right.
So how can an African be anti-Semitic with our own African? It don't exist. And then we can never be racist against no Jews or anybody, because we don't own no institutions to block people from coming in. Yeah. They block us from jobs.
It's the power, right? Like the power.
It definitely is the power. It's their power. You know what I mean?
Also, I wanted to take a quick cut off really quick to say, those people that are thinking about how to begin the process of healing and opening and expanding your chakras. One of the things that I love to give when I'm doing intuitive readings or mediumship, or oracle or tarot, I always say, when you're ready to go there and you're ready to address some things and expand each one of your chakras, we talk a lot about this too, frequency. So you can go right on YouTube and look up frequency, Hertz frequency, HERTZ frequency. And you put Hertz frequency and whatever number or whatever chakra, right? Or whatever thing, if it's just meditation, if it's chanting and you want to Ra, Ya, La, if you want to open up those different chakras that way through Sanskrit, you can do that. If you're like, I don't really know about that, so I just want to listen to the music.
No, everybody listen.
You should chant. You should.
Listen, everything is made through electromagnetic activity. Even electricity is an electron. You got to understand that. Your neurons, your neural pathways, all these are electric, right? Even electricity only, like if you see lightning falling falling is only striking up too much nitrogen that's in the air, right? Now, when you eating meat has the most abundant of nitrogen. That's why when you fall asleep, you only falling asleep like that because your immune system is going crazy with all the nitrogen that the meat has in it.
Oh my gosh. So here we go. It's called a food coma. That's what we call a food coma when you're like, oh, I just feel like, you don't feel like refreshed and you don't feel energetic and rejuvenated when you eat, but you feel like you want to go to sleep.
That's the histones. Histones is being released, right? Right? So, with that being said, you have...
So you need to chant. You do.
Yeah, because light is sound, right? Sound is thought. And this might come with a building block of teaching, but light slows down and sound slow down is thought. Remember, everything in the universe is mental. All is mind. All is mind. But to have the thought, remember God said, let there be light. And then he said there was, right? Yeah. So he already thought it and then he spoke it.
And then it existed and it happened. So that's the process of your healing, right? That you think, you speak, and you're manifesting it, right? So
isn't that what prayer is?
Yeah, and that's why I like to say prayer is no different from incantation, meditation.
Right, but we ain't playing with no vowels, right? Yeah. So like I'm kind of getting charged up, right? Pray is pray, right? PRY, right? No vowels. Anytime you see the P is always feminine. P and F is interchangeable. Like people do etymology on words, I do etymology on letters. P and F is interchangeable, right? Feminine, phenomenal, all the same, right?
We're gonna do an episode just on that too. You can keep going.
Everything.
I don't think I'm like, but we are gonna do an episode just on that because I've learned a lot from you on that as well, and like how we think about words, and it just opened up my Akashic records on like just he sparked seeds in me, and then boom, like I was able to dissect and put some words together, just intuitively. So that's why I love him, because we dialogue, and then it really does plant those seeds and connects more of the physical and the spiritual world together. But we'll keep going. We're gonna close up soon because we've been here for a while. You got to come back if you want some more. But I just wanted to say once again, Hertz frequency. Okay, you can relate it to any chakra: root chakra, sacral chakra.
Because it goes through the Fibonacci
solar
sequence.
Put that in there. I was just saying, put that in there. Yeah. You can put Hertz frequency chakra, Hertz frequency healing. Your heart, whatever you feel like you want to focus on and you want to heal. You put Hertz, HERTZ frequency, and then you put the word behind it. If you want to access your crown chakra or go beyond those chakras, because I know we only focus mostly on like the 7 here, but there are the lower ones below your feet, and above that there's like 12. So if you just want to start your healing, and you're not talking about exercising, you're not talking about eating, but also doing those things, and you're just talking about how do I open up and start the meditation process where I'm thinking the thoughts and then I'm chanting or speaking, they have those chants on there too, and then I'm manifesting my existence. That's one of the things that I tell when I'm giving an intuitive reader. The other thing is find some affirmations, so that if you feel like you don't know what to say and what to manifest or how to think, then start by just writing down some affirmations. You can find so many affirmations online, it's ridiculous. And if you need more or you need some, come to me. I will help you. Book an appointment on my page. But those affirmations, put them on your mirror. Put it on the fridge. I always go in there. I love food. So I put affirmations and things that I want to manifest on my fridge, as I'm going in there all the time, right? Or in the car. You're a driver, you drive long distance. That's another place to do it. So I just wanted to encourage. I didn't want to just say this is what you need to do, but not give you the tools. I don't believe in that, because everybody has to start somewhere, right? When they're ready. So I just wanted to share
and
that about the
two is just 2 dimension, right?
Yeah.
Your first dimension is just the thought of it, right? Your 0 dimension is just nothingness. Everything starts from nothing, right? And then your 2D is having the tools of the thought of the first D, and the 3D is a manifestation of thereof.
Yeah.
Right? And that's all coming out of the mind. Like I was saying, R, P, R. We're gonna take the vowels out, and then you got R, you know, because we're dealing with consonants. Because when you're dealing with consonants, it's constant, right? And through no matter what language, the consonant vibration, because sound language is all through sound. Whether you speak in Hebrew, you might be, or you speak in Arabic, or you speak a different language.
Yeah.
The dialect all comes whether you speak it from here or the back of the nose, or you could be speaking from the back of the throat. This is called phonetics.
Yeah.
Right? And the sound and the way things is pronounced, you can open up the om sound in certain words, or the ra sound better. Like everything that's even in Christianity got to come from the crest, right? There go that KR, right? S or KRES, but that ra is always there. RE, right? Or ready, or refresh, or sunrise, right? Everything got to do with what we talking about is dark energy or black light. That's why I made a song. I said that after my black light, they want to take my black life. My black life is my black light, but my black life is associated to the first is my black light. They don't really want my life. They want my light. You could take my life, but my light gonna live on.
That's what Tupac says, right? Yeah, he says that. Thermal energy. He loves Tupac, and so I grew up like listening to Tupac because of him. And so I'm also a hip hop teacher, so I get to like teach about Tupac, and I think he's just very deep. But that's a whole. We'll have to do a like a hip hop one, like a hip hop and spiritual blend, right? I think that's going to be a good one. We have lots of shows to do. We owe you guys a lot. We don't owe you, but we're putting it out there so you can give something back, right? Either to us or to the world. So this is good. This is really good. I want to touch on one last part, because when I shifted my path, like about 7 years ago, I was like going through like a depression, anxiety, all these things as I was coming out of I was purge, a very toxic. You always got to, I was coming out of a toxic relationship, in all aspects and areas, but I'm thankful for that relationship because I was able. Everybody's like, I know that, you know. It took me 7 years to get out of that, you know. But coming out of that, the day that I decided to move on, right? And this was 7 years ago, I saw my first, and I think you were in the car when I saw this. I was just like so devastated too. Around the sun, I saw a halo rainbow. And then I saw another one around that, and it looked like a diamond ring. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's a representation of the promise. And that's what I associated with at the time, right? And as I expanded my spirituality, I was like, oh my gosh, it's related to the chakras. And like, what does rainbow mean? And like, we're talking about darkness and light. Right. And I also want to just touch on really quickly, like just for 5 minutes, how the rainbow spectrum fits into that. We talked about chakras, right? But any other ways we talk about
color coded through the seven chakras is the 7 colors. 7 colors is the 7 seals. That's why I'm saying when you talk about being broke down in your heart, that's where the emotion gonna sit, right? If you got a bad gut, right? You be eating bad stuff, you know what I mean?
Sacral chakra.
Yeah, the first thing gonna go is your kidneys. You know what I mean? Fear is stored up in the kidneys, right? And that's one of the main ways to deliver energy or deliver melanin from your tyrosine, coming from your melanosomes, coming from the melanocytes, coming from the photons, right? That you eating from the light. So get out in the light and electrocute your body, which means exercise. Like you used to see, you always see martial arts. Why Mar, right? Mar is another word for Mars, but it's also another word for matrix, right? It's a feminine, right? Because the divine feminine it can be real destructive, It can be real disciplining, That's why your mom should be the first one to discipline you. And anytime you're using right? Mama, how we say mama is always talking about divine energy or divine feminine energy. And that's why you get black matter. When you saying black matter, right? Black matter.
Yeah.
Only thing that matters is matter, right? And they can't even understand. So now they say, oh, it's dark matter, which is what they call junk DNA, right? Because you say you got 22 active amino acids, but it's really 64, right? So the other 40, 42 is not even activated, right? But now we starting to see that you can activate those actual amino acids. But how do you do it, right?
Wow.
Through your adrenaline, alchemically. Remember, everything is chemical, right? Everything is alchemy. So
I was just about to say that, but I didn't.
Water, earth.
I was just about to say alchemy.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, people.
Earth, air, all these still birth what you got called elements, but these elements, right, also has a light codec system to them too. That's why gold resonates and it vibrates golden. Like why? Because it has a certain vibration. Now vibration, there go that word bra, right? Bra is Ra. Anytime that you have Ra there, you have energy. You have solar energy coming through, right? So you got vibrations or abrasions, right? You got Brahma or Abraham, right? Sarah, right? Sarah and Abraham, right? You got eyebrow over the eye, right? You have.
Can I say too?
Rainbow. Rainbow is Ra's bra, right? It's all talking about vibration of the solar energy Ra coming through the triangle, right? Now we done seen it come through the prism, right, in science class, right? But at first that beam of light behind it, that's a black light, right? But it's mixed with white light.
Come on, because
black produces white, but then it goes through the prism, it goes through the triangle, and then you got your 7 colors.
And that's why too. We should, like I was just reminded of crystals. Right. That's why like crystals and stones too are important because of those vibrations.
Right. So, and they come in straight because a rock. You gotta understand a rock and people. Yeah, I gotta understand.
Please
a
understand.
lot of places is burial grounds. A lot of sacred sites that y'all see. Y'all remember seeing these monuments. Y'all might see how these people tearing down. Or are people tearing down all the these statues? These statues is built on straight up ley lines. Like a lot of churches and mosques and all that. When they took over the land, they knew about the grid. These grids was called ley lines or dragon lines, serpent lines, right? Because that's where the energy is. The energy and the wisdom is always in the planet, right? So we not trained naturally. Right, we got these phones. We own all this predictive behavior with all these phones. But if we get lost out in the wilderness, it's only the degrees that's gonna help you. Now, what is degree? You got degree in sun and temperature. You got degrees in education. Right. Thank you. And you got degree in fire. Did I say fire?
Yeah, you said temperature.
I said temperature.
I don't know if we're missing one.
Yeah, I'm missing one. You got degree in fire. You got degree in
like just expansion or
No, you got degrees in actual math.
Yes.
Right. Angles.
Yes. There we go.
Right? So numbers and angles, right? Like your 90-degree angle is your L. Your L is your L, which is the Elohim L, right? Yeah. Which is electricity, which is light. All of these sciences are saying the same thing.
Saying the same thing, just in a different way.
Yeah. So when they say negative vibes only, no, I want negative vibes only for real. Yeah. Like when you say positive, you keep the positive because positive on that plus that produces more what they call in science, more white blood cells.
And you were talking about energy and building, churches or things on ley lines because of the energy. think about it like this. We're always tap into them. Yeah, and you can tap into that energy. So we're also talking about, think about it like this, as just like a person walking into a store, or especially like with the energy right now, things are just in uproar, right? You walk into a store and you know when someone's angry. That's energy.
That's energy. We all share, because electromagnetic, that once the energy, the light is produced through electromagnetic activity, then you have an electromagnetic field.
Yeah.
Right? So you can feel somebody looking at you because they frequency or they sight is on you, and they feel. Yes. Right? Even when you around people and you be like, man, I think something about to happen, man. You
just feel weird. You just feel like that's your
and then as soon as you leave, you get the call like, people. And see, intuition is all the inner. Right? See, they don't want you on the inner, they want you focused on the external.
Outer. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's great.
But this is esoteric.
Yeah.
You know, this is not exoteric.
Yeah.
This is internal. This is not external.
Yeah.
Right? So it's a difference between the knowledges that they give people. They want you to focus outside of yourself and not let you key on the note that everything that's outside of yourself is inside of yourself.
And then can I say, on top of that, remember, they want us to fear our abilities. Because that's power, right? So my empath, if you feel like you have the gift of seeing things or feeling things, you, like we were just saying, or you know, like where you hear like your spirit guides, your ancestors, or the archangels, or God, or the universe, and you're like, I don't want any of that. That is your ancestors pass that down to you. It's just about letting go of the fear of it and asking the universe to ease you in or bring you in what you're ready for. You know, I meet a lot of kids who are so super gifted, and they're like, I never talk about it because people think I'm crazy, or, you know what I mean? Like, we're just now being okay with, we're hitting that range of expansion in the world, where the world is just okay with people being intuitive. You know, some of them, people are called psychics, but intuitive or energy reading, that like people were like being burned at the stake, called witches, you know, or like whatever.
But that, because you gotta understand that whole system is new.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That haven't been around for the ancient of days. You know what I mean?
Right.
That was all to come program people and take land and take resources, you know,
and take power, to have power.
Right?
So even power within the people, because you know that, like, if you are intuitive, or you can feel like, oh my gosh, you can read somebody's mind, that's power. You know what I mean?
See, activating the other, see, like what you're talking about, you only own 22. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I forgot to say
42,
that.
Which gets to 64.
Your access to your mental, right?
Yeah,
capacity.
The mind.
Yeah, I'm
right?
sorry.
So if you can activate the 64, right? This is the power of the hexagons. This is what the Chinese wrote the I Ching. Chinese come from black people. They're the Mongolo tribe. I mean, they're Manchurians, right? They're not Chinese people. They're Manchurians, and they come from the Kung, or they look up Kung and the Sung tribe, right? This is where they get the eye from. They get the eye from Africa, right? And they took the I Ching with them. The I Ching was the power of coming through Sekhmet, right? Or the power of the 64, right? Of hexagrams, right? Because now we find out in science that all your DNA are hexagrams, right? So when you see the
skin too.
Huh?
The skin?
Yeah, the skin. Look at it when it's ashy. It's all hexagrams.
Shape of your skin,
right?
Seriously.
Because now the hexagram is the 6. So when you saying 666, all you talking about is hexagrams and 6 electrons, 6 protons, and 6 neutrons. They know this, right? So they programming you
to believe
in the Star of David, but not knowing that the Star of David is you. It's inside of you, right? Even Islam rock around with the 5-point star and the crescent moon. But what's the 5-point star and the crescent moon? Oh, that's a representation of feminine energy, right? Going through the 5th level, right? Because the body goes through the 5th level once you get to the 5th dimension, but you can get to the 6th dimension. But the 6th dimension is enclosed by the cube, because you got the 6-point star, you got these triangles going up, triangles down, and when they unite, you still got a square in the middle, right? But at the same time, that's the 4. The 4 is cubic, right? That's 4D. But 3D come through what we call is the pyramid. That's why we got the prism. When the light comes through, the black light, and boom, you get your rainbow.
Yeah, I like that.
Your illusion.
And we bringing it back. And I just want to say to people, like, you can just start by looking up the number, even go to 5 dimensions or 6 dimensions. Like, look up different dimensions to see what that access and what that information is. You can start there.
Yeah.
Look up the meanings of rainbows. Look up black versus white in different cultures and like what that means. It's just about, this is for you, not for us to tell you what necessarily we believe, but just to like, we were talking and asking questions and dialoguing, and these are the things that we came up with. This is our perspective, and he does a lot more research than I do. I'm still working on that and finding my journey with that. So I'm right there with you. And some of my Akashic Records information comes in that way. So I feel that like I'm so grateful to have that ability.
So what's the Akashic Records? Like
we can talk about that too.
Right?
Okay, I said 5 minutes, like 10 minutes ago, but for real, we're gonna time it 5 minutes and then we're gonna close out.
Right. So you're talking the power of where your ancestors at.
Yeah.
And rest in power to my homie. He just transitioned a little SETI sauce.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But we gain ancestors. You know what I mean? We gain intercessors. Like I don't even look. I look at things totally different. Like when I lose somebody, I know I could gain a real ancestor in the intercessory realm. So y'all look up the Schumann resonance or the Schumann resonance, right? This is activity that's going on in a place right above in the ionosphere, right above the Van Andel belt, right? And this is what chemtrails is all about. They use certain things and more satellites. They want to block out all.
We're talking about 5G right now.
Energy that's going up from us. The energy when you go to sleep at night, right? And you go back into darkness, you go into your past, your present, and your future. I am Marty McFly, right? Woo! I can jump, me and Doc can jump in the back, right?
Back to the future.
As soon as I go to sleep, me and Doc, we traveling, we astroplane, right? Because why they call it astroplanet? Astro means star, plane mean on another dimension. So every time you go to sleep, you go on another dimension. Now let's talk about this, right? You live every single day and you dedicate 8 hours a day to what? Going to work, 8 hours a day to home, 8 hours a day to sleep, right? That's your cycle. So if you live to be 75, but you slept a quarter of your day away, that's a quarter of your life. Away, right? So how long, if you live to be 75, how long have you really, you slept?
Yeah.
Right? You slept a quarter of your life. You slept 25 years.
That's a lot.
Right? And then when you pass on, right? Because we're talking about thermal energy. Thermal energy don't never die. That's why I call myself Ether. And if you know anything about Rudolf Steiner books, all he talk about is the etherical body and the etherical realm, right? Because we all light beings. This is all, even gold. Gold is light. It's etheric, right? Silver, etheric, copper, etheric, right?
Stephen Hawking talks about energy and energy never dying.
Yeah.
So now we're talking about science again.
Right. So that means you'll never, like, you go on back to you go on back to and send to where your ancestors did, and you're gonna be an intercessor for something or somebody else or the planet that you make.
And then we get into reincarnation, and what does reincarnation mean, right?
That means you never got through the chakra. If you don't deal with your chakras, you reincarnate back. Period. You know what I mean? And that might be a whole nother deep study because all y'all talking about a rapture, but reincarnation, you got to understand that resurrection, reincarnation, incarnation.
It shows you it in life though. Like it's everywhere. Like that was one of the other questions that when I started my journey and I was like going outside Christianity, I literally was like, okay, God, show me if reincarnation, because my grandfather used to talk. Shout out to our grandfather, Nathaniel Fraser. Right. He is on it. Like he is legend. And he like spiritually like elevated expansion.
You gotta watch When Dreams May Come.
Yeah.
Robin Williams.
Yeah.
And Cuba Gooding Jr.
Rest in peace. Rest in
power.
Ether, rest in power.
So like if you don't deal with life moments and you don't deal with traumatic, because we all been traumatized, especially the our community, Mexican community, people of color community, melanated community. Like we all been traumatized and we ain't deal with the trauma at all, right? So this is another thing where
we have 2 minutes.
Oh,
this is
when the dreams may come, she never dealt with her kids passing on and her husband passing on, so she built her own hell, right? And then he had to go to her planet or her hell and rescue her and show her like, look, I'm over here with the kids. You know what I mean? Even when you watch Lovely Bones, when the girl she got raped, remember, and and she got killed, but she led her daddy back to her body off his intuition because they're connected. So again, when your people pass on, you always got your peoples interceding for you. When you get your intuition, that's your thought of your grandmama or your people that passed
your
on.
Spirit guide.
Like, wait a minute.
Your spirit guide. Your spirit animals. All those things are connected. And I will just say, like, those people out there that you have kind of that ability, you know, you don't have to be afraid. Remember, you are in control. And I can tell you ways that I feel like I protect myself and protect my energy and protect that relationship with my ancestors. I'm just getting into like really involving them in every single thing that I do. And mediumship. Some of you out there are so gifted, but you've been made to feel like you're crazy or it's wrong or it's evil or this. I have really over the past probably 2.5 to 3 years really have just accepted what my ancestors have passed down to me in mediumship, where you're connecting with people who've passed on, right? Because they're still there. They want to guide you, you know.
Ancestors mean intercessors.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Ancestors and, you know, spirit guides.
Why they have almost the same spelling?
They always want to communicate too. You know, like they always want to guide. They all are always communicating. It's what we want to have expansion of and access to. We have to decide on if we want it. So if you can close it off, you can open it up.
Right.
So we can talk about
it's all through the Akashic records. And okay, let's cut the mythology out of it, right? Akashic records is coming through your medulla oblongata. The medulla oblongata is the first place when you rising up your Kundalini energy. They call that the mind of God or the mouth of God, right? This is where your seats of your dreams and your memories and all that. Remember, you could be past, present, and future. Right now, I can close my eyes and I can visualize you know, myself in a place. And even when you go to sleep, right, you go past, present, future because it can be you in a current relationship, but you in an old house, right?
Or like you're like, where were we?
That you want to buy in the future. Like we started.
You're like, why were we in this house? And I'm like, oh, you know, is it a past life? Is it a you know, or you're
everything that you see about in sci-fi, right? Remember they talking about you. You see X-Men, Transformers,
attention.
Pay attention.
Black Panther. Black Panther is like
deep because you're talking about Boss. Like you're talking about Boss. Boss comes straight out of ancient Egypt with the divine female energy of a goddess, right? And that goddess, what he do? He did a ritual, right? To drink the plants. Then he became the Black Panther, a Boss. But Boss is when you get into the Sphinx and all that,
it's so
half
deep.
Lion, half man, you know what I mean?
So deep.
Because, you know, the feminine is the feline, right? The feline, you know what I mean? Like if you don't know nothing about lions, you know the lion has courage. He is the king of the jungle. Why is he the king of the jungle? He is the king of the jungle because he just running around beating up everybody. You know what I mean?
He's not a bully.
No, he's not a bully. But we still talking about astrology because the Leo,
it's Leo season. Happy birthday, Leo. We love you.
Know y'all energy. No,
it's power.
Y'all great. And y'all
and
definitely.
Go ahead. No, you
like
go.
Right before, because you gotta understand. Right after Leo, you get Virgo.
Yeah.
After you get Virgo, you starting to get Libra. Right now, these is the fall. Right now, the fall deal with the fall of things, or fall of life, or fall of spirituality, getting ready for the winter. Right, because then you got to get this spring to refresh again.
Reincarnate.
Everything refreshing.
Think about
everything go through the 4 seasons.
Yes, think about it. And I was even gonna say, like, going back to this,
everything go through the 4
starting
seasons.
over, reincarnation. I asked to be shown that, and then like the universe was like, well, look at the leaves on the trees. They reincarnate. Look at the flowers.
Because it's already incarnated with spirit.
Like, I was like, oh my gosh. So again, when I was saying this earlier, we're talking about See it in nature, you will see it in you. Nature, the universe, the stars is a representation of you, and that's our existence.
You got to stop being around people who don't know that they're traumatized. You got to stop being around people who haven't got over traumatic experiences, and because they didn't have the right mother or the right father, or they got all these issues, these parent issues, right? They got all these issues where
and they can't
even express themselves. You know, when you can't express yourself, when you can't communicate, you start yelling, you start fighting, you start throwing things. That's because you can't properly communicate.
It manifests in anger.
Yeah, right? Anger. And let me tell you, anger and an angry person around you never manifests nothing, right? They only manifest death. You'll be stuck for the rest of your life. So if y'all around here on another person's algorithm, right? You on another person, everything's about real estate in somebody else's space, and it's through attention. And some people want the wrong attention. They don't even know the difference between the right attention and the wrong attention.
Clap.
But they also traumatically it's desensitized to the emotion that they give. They think because you ain't did nothing for them lately, or you ain't doing the thing that they want you to do, then they got to show out in anger. But anger is just an angle.
Yeah.
Right? An angle is how we kill angels, bad angels.
Wow.
Right? Because bad angels is nothing but light codes of messages. Messages ain't nothing but light codes of information. If you don't got the right information, you could be stuck in these seals. Remember these chakras, right?
You're stuck.
Through traumatic experiences. Yeah. And if you ain't got through them traumatic experiences, you gonna keep going.
You're gonna go through it.
So why you think you go through the same thing with this relationship, right? Because the thing is, they keep reincarnating that through anger. Right? That's an angle.
Talk about relationships now and your interactions with people in simple.
No, I'm talking about just period.
Like, period.
You can have angry relationships with your mom and your dad. You can have angry relationship with the people in your circle, right? You just walk around, you know what I mean?
Just angry, just mad. And you feel like nobody owes you anything.
Right? Because Facebook, like this is where people show, like as soon as you don't agree with them, right? They don't know the difference between an interruption or an interjection. They don't know the difference between subjectively and objectively thinking. They don't know the difference between internal thinking or external thinking. Yeah. Right? Yeah. So what they do is they don't even know how to communicate. Now everything's a fight. Everything is angry. You know what I'm saying?
And they really think that they are the ones who, like, the injustice is happening to when they out there attacking people. Yeah. And not realize it. And it's like, wow, there is really something wrong when you can go on somebody else's space. Because what you're doing physically, you're still doing it spiritually. Yeah. You can go in someone else's space and be disrespectful. Well, guess what? What you put out is what you get back. Yeah. That's your karma. And karma is very, very real. Because if you have enough time to think it, right? And then to say it and put it, actually physically put it out there. That's what you're giving back to yourself. That's what you're doing to yourself.
People don't know what self is. They don't know who they is. And through the traumatic experiences, now they got to look outside of themselves and they got to get reassurance because they didn't have the mama to take care of them. They didn't have a daddy to take care of them, right? So now they act out in ways and they use things that's trendy. They use things that's acceptable to be accepted because you ain't never had nobody there to show you how to reassure yourself and to have self-confidence.
Value.
And give you value, give you certain tools to trampoline you to next levels where you don't have to go to no false friends for the trampoline. You don't have to go and sell yourself or sell your soul, right? Because everybody's paying attention, right, to you. And if you got like a great phenotype, they call that asymmetric. You go in there and asymmetric is really attractive, right? So you can be attractive and you be getting all the wrong attention, and now you done
garbage.
20 years of that.
Garbage,
right? You had 20 years of that, but you ain't checked yourself. You ain't had a successful relationship not one time. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because everybody's been through traumatic experiences, and now they don't know. They got, like I said, a neuron blockage. Right now you can't even receive, but you're stuck in your heart. Your neurons is hardened through your pituitary gland. Look up your pituitary gland and look up this movie, this documentary called "What the Bleak Do We Know?" And it's really I'm saying it's letting you know what the bleak do you know, so and how fear and traumatic experiences can go through your pituitary gland. And they say that nerves that fire together wired together.
Wow.
So now your neurons is firing through your pituitary gland, traumatic experiences, right? Now they wire together, they wire shut, and now you can only think is one way. But guess who's controlling your thinking? Because y'all ain't even talking about Markov models. That means predictive programming. These people out here, they got y'all on algorithms. Y'all don't even know about hyper normalization. Look up that movie, Hyper Normalization.
Yeah.
Where they use society through the best of their ability, right? Yeah. To hyperinflate or hyper normalize or hyperinflate normal behavior off what they think is normal. But you jumping into it and you going to it every day, and you don't even know you killing yourself or they killing you. Just like when you wake up in the morning and the first thing you do is turn on your phone and you go through your phone. That's blue light. Them is elf waves. Blue light is lead, and that kills. Right? Lead is dead. You know what I mean? That's the word I was just looking for.
So we're talking about just like move your phone away from you a couple of times. Think about how you
electricity. Period. Like turn the fight and turn everything off when you go to sleep. You know, you want to be in the dark.
I still need to do that. He's talking to me because I love like TV, but I'm like,
what do elf waves do? They steal electrons. Remember, I said it first. That's why they came with when they said coronavirus and 5G is a conspiracy. No, I'm gonna tell you the truth. 5G. The more the technology, the more they steal your electrons. That's why I want all the negative energy, right? Because all the negative energy give me more electrons. And we want more red blood cells than we want white blood cells. White blood cells only produce toxins. And the more you keep this social media in your face, then not only it's killing your electrons biologically through blue light, right? That's why they have blue blockers, right? Get you some good blue blockers when you're around all this bad light.
Shout out to Urban 360, our mom, Roxanne Frazier. She's like going hard about the blue light, and then she's like, get those glasses. Like, don't you watch TV? And we love her. Because, Urban 360. Yeah, she makes sure.
And they controlling you through this frequency. Everything is frequency, right? And I know we about to close.
We are. When we like said 2 minutes, we meant like 10 more minutes.
Yeah, right. And they know
we want you to know stuff. Like we want to talk about these things, and even if you don't agree with everything that we're saying, it's up to you to do the work. Yeah. It's up to you. We just like if whatever you took from it was what you were meant. This is not meant for argument. This is not meant for like. Again, we're not talking about attacks. We just want to share. Yeah. We're not charging. No. We want to share and give back so we can heal people and heal the earth.
Don't be somebody else's
algorithm.
Period. Don't be
in the filter bubble.
Frequency. And no, like when you're using all of these platforms and using all of these social media outlets, right? You're being disattached from what's real, what's nature. Because like all the technology can be zapped into the day, but can you go out there and hunt? Can you go out there and get food? Is it too gory for you to spill an animal of blood?
Yeah, a little bit.
Spill the blood of an animal. You know what I'm saying? Like if you really need to, like, you know.
I'll do it if I have to do it.
Right. How many of us getting in the earth? You know what I mean? Actually putting our hands in the dirt and growing our own food, right? And the time right now, like if you're not understanding the time that we in, but we live in Michigan, so I already understand the time that we in. We supposed to be in a time of Renaissance, right? Art is everything. Art is how
can't live without art.
Dance, theater,
I'm a dancer.
Movies, music. People making shirts like my mom. You know, all this.
What does your shirt say?
Justice for the wrongfully convicted.
I like it.
You know.
Great. Also, shout out to what are the apartments on Grove Street? I just found out today that they have a community garden. So I am so proud.
Yeah,
what are the Grove Street apartments in Ypsilanti, Michigan?
Yeah.
Where we used to stay with Mama Pam and Dad.
You're talking about down there on
in Vine Grove, the apartments right there.
Hollow Creek, Hickory Hollow. Hollow Creek.
Is that what they changed the name? So we've been around for a while. So, but they have a community garden, and I think that I just want to give a shout out to them for doing that and like taking care of each other. So if you have a community garden and you're growing your own things, right? If you take this lesson today, because we really do, we are closing for real this time. if you take anything out of this lesson, please take love, light, and expansion out of it. What was the movie that you recommended? So the movie that we're recommending,
What the bleep do we know?
What the bleep do we know? And can you give us one, just a really short, quick book that you think would be a good read for, we're talking about dark, light, or, you know, even if it's not necessarily focused on that or just on that, it's something else, just one book really quick. And then we're going to close out with some more shout outs and say goodbye for the night.
Man, the language crystal.
Language crystal.
I just gave y'all super jewel. That's a super
language jewel. Crystal. Yeah,
language
I like
crystal.
that.
That book used to be $2,000.
So you're talking about invest. You want to invest in something.
It's not $2,000 now.
It's not that way now, but it was.
But like,
I bet you all those people are really upset. They're like, it's like $1 now.
Yeah, no. But it's so many books out there.
Yeah, there's a lot. But we're gonna do some more sessions like this, because as you can see, this is like food for the soul, for the chakras, for the light, for the expansion, for everything that
depends on what you're looking for, like what type of, like, you know, you're trying to go into. Light, darkness could be quantum physics.
Don't start talking again.
Oh, okay.
Well, we can't give them anymore. I love you guys, but we can't. So shout out to how can we find your music? Because also, again, we're gonna talk about hip hop in the universe. That's gonna be such a good discussion. I can't wait. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited because I'm a hip hop head and I teach hip hop. I say hip hop history, but it's hip hop at University of Michigan. So if you're a U of M student and you want to come take my class, I teach hip hop history. We talk about hip hop and social justice, oppression, women in hip hop, the legacy of how it started. Shout out to the Bronx. Some people will argue that, but I'm telling you.
Bronx, boogie
hey.
Down, Bronx, boogie down, Bronx, boogie down, Bronx, boogie down, Bronx.
Hey. We're grooving on the way out because we're getting your energy back up. So we hope this lifted you up in light and love.
Hey.
We can just go on forever. That's what brothers and sisters do. But can you shout out like your music one more time? Like, where can we find your music?
I'm on SoundCloud. Josie Wells, but that's like old stuff, you know. I'm coming out with new stuff.
It's not though. Don't listen to that because it's very relevant. Yeah, it's timeless. So I'm telling you, especially if you want.
I do it for the love. I don't do it for y'all likes. I don't do nothing for people likes.
You do
I do it for my people who ain't here. I do it for the people who still here. Because I celebrate and I pay homage to legends. I'm only around legends. My sister's a legend. My mama's a legend. My dad's a legend. My brother Jairus is a legend. My brother Jairus is a legend.
Shout out to Jairus.
Choo-choo. Candace is a legend.
Shout out to Candace. Shout out to Tania.
Tania's a legend. You know what I'm saying? So like,
shout out to our brother Jeff.
Yeah.
Our brother Kiki. Our brother Kwame. We love you all.
We love all legends. You know
We're thinking about you.
And the thing is, you know, everything is about art, and I'm just trying to tell y'all, be the most artistic as possible, even if you don't have the platform to push it, or you're not even pushing it.
Find your voice.
Like the greats, when they died, they was botanists at the same time, authors at the same time, playing with they might be even playing with what we call masonry, you know. Yeah. Moon sons, you know what I mean? I want to get into all that, but we can't get into anymore. We was multifaceted and stuff we did.
So it's okay to do more than one thing, and if you've only been working and going home today, this is the universe telling everybody, and I've been saying this over on every single one of my lives. This is time for us to all do something that we love. Like I love that. Like we need to do something that we love. You've been wanting to start that business. It
ain't gonna be through no revolutions. It ain't gonna be all that how we think it's gonna be. It ain't gonna be through fighting. Look at it, fighting. Like fighting ain't did nothing for us. And niggas ain't ready to fight. All these niggas, they out here want to kill niggas, kill another nigga. That ain't macho to me, right? We got bigger fights. We got bigger plights. We got bigger.
We gotta expand our.
Right? We don't even have a black army. But y'all want to go out here and kill each other.
We can't get into any more. Like this is gonna be a topic for another time.
You know what I'm saying?
We can't get into any more. We've been we were 2 hours. We've been going. I knew that was gonna happen. So find him on SoundCloud, Josie Wells. We gave you the resource, a couple resources and what to do.
I got a book coming out.
Okay, yes.
That's what I want to put. I want to put the book, right? And if you want to know what the book about, just go through all my stats. You know what I'm saying?
Facebook, on Facebook. How can they
right.
find you on Facebook? What's your name on Facebook?
JFK or Ether. You know,
Just
and this
saying.
everything I'm talking about. Like I didn't get, and then the stuff I'm talking about is people that know me for the last 15, 10 years.
The studying. You've been doing this for years.
As I've been doing it, and I put them on game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that's what proceeds you, is what you give the world. You always a servant.
So, and that's what we're doing tonight. We really do have to go. If you like this, like it and share it. If you know it can bless somebody else, give them, plant some seeds in them. If you've been talking about this, like put your comments in the live below. This will eventually be on my podcast, which I will post on this page when it is all ready and set up to go. So you can drive around and listen to this. You can listen to it anyway now. But like the page, Tony the Lightworker on Facebook. You can find me on like. You can find me on Instagram at Tony the Lightworker as well. So I want to thank you guys one more time for joining us, and like we both get excited. So we're not trying to be rude. We just get so pumped up like when we're talking over each other. It's brother sister thing. Yeah. So we love you. Light and love. Stay elevated and stay expanding. Yeah. Your physical and ether existence. You know what I was going to say. I know what I was saying. So I love you guys. We'll talk to you later. Bye. Hey, thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow me on Insta and Facebook at Tony the Lightworker, where you can receive live readings, products, and more. I hope to see you next time on the Starseed podcast.